Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. Now, what really happened in this fight? An amazing display from Ryan Garcia, proving all of his doubters wrong, showing grit and toughness that nobody knew for sure he had, an ability to come back in the fight after getting knocked down pretty badly. It wasn't a soft knockdown, that was a pretty bad knockdown, and he was able to recover quickly and get right back into the fight, taking it over again, which is something the veterans of the sport are able to do compared to such a young boxer in Ryan Garcia, and ultimately taking out one of the top contenders of the lightweight division with a picture-perfect, explosive left hook to the ribs, which put down Luke Campbell for the first time in Luke's career. Guys like Lomachenko couldn't do that. Various professional boxers could not do what Ryan Garcia did. And ultimately, it came with a bit of a conditioning factor. Ryan Garcia kept going for left hooks to the head. He was countering with left hooks. He was going forward with left hooks, all to the head. So every time he swung back that left arm, Luke Campbell thought it was going to the head. He got conditioned and that's what's going to happen. But in the 7th round, that one time he went to the body was all he needed. Luke Campbell blocked up high, exposed his body, and all that explosion from the left hook entered right into the ribs and put down Luke Campbell. That was masterful precision, and it actually was a bit of a risky move to go for. It showed how confident Ryan Garcia was that this shot would have landed. I mean, he threw his body in there, and ultimately, Ryan Garcia is legit. He is for real. Nobody can underestimate him anymore, and man, the guy is just tough mentally and physically. Everybody has to look at him as a legit contender of the lightweight division, and it was pretty interesting because both fighters took a very different kind of approach in the fight. They're both opposite stances, so it's going to be a battle of who takes the outside foot, who takes the inside foot. And the interesting thing about this fight was Luke Campbell, who's the more experienced fighter, he was fighting very fundamentally. He just had a very unusual stance, very wise stance for boxing. You don't normally see this sort of stance in boxing. You see it more in MMA or kickboxing or something like that. And he was the one who was effectively taking the outside foot, while Ryan Garcia, at least for the beginning of the fight, was more focused on taking the inside foot, which is a lot harder to be effective with, right? We see guys like Manny Pacquiao able to do that, some fighters here and there, but it's not a usual thing you're taught because it's harder to align your right hand to find target, and you saw that in the first round. Ryan Garcia constantly was trying to find his right hand, but it was just missing because, again, he was taking the inside foot, but it does help the lead hand a lot more. You can land jabs more effectively. You can cut off your opponent with the left hook, which is his best weapon. He can also throw the 1-3 combination, or you could do a high feint left hook combo. Pretty much plays out the same way. You just want to trigger a reaction from your opponent, as well as use something to measure in before you attack. They will most likely want to take the outside foot on you even farther out there, and that ultimately runs them right into a left hook. But ultimately, it wasn't playing out like that for Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia did get caught once Luke Campbell took the outside foot in the second round. This same sort of fundamental approach from Luke Campbell actually did work, and it's always a learning process for young boxers. I mean, the sky is the limit for Ryan Garcia. He's still learning so much, and things like this, getting knocked down for the first time, is definitely going to be a learning process for him. He's definitely going to look at this a lot more carefully and see some of his mistakes and stuff like that. But all Luke Campbell does is he lurks up high and low, confusing a bit of the targeting, but mainly what he's doing here is he's masking in a sneaky outside step for a big left overhand. Garcia measures forward with his lead, and he drops his right hand. Probably thought it was going to be a left straight or a body shot due to the fact that Luke Campbell was coming down low before he went up high with the left overhand. I mean, this was great work from Luke Campbell, but this is where Ryan Garcia proved a lot of people wrong out there. He comes back from this big knockdown against him and starts taking over the fight right from there. Shows his toughness, not only physically but mentally, able to be composed right after that knockdown. Now, there were more instances of the outside foot left straight landing on Ryan Garcia, specifically in the 4th round, where Garcia actually gave the outside foot alignment to Campbell without putting any kind of big offense against him. He kind of just walked his way into the inside foot, pumping out a few jabs in there, but looking to measure for something, and practically just put himself in line of sight of the left hand, which snaps his head back. I mean, that was a big left hand. It does show Ryan Garcia's chin. Now, it's great in all that Ryan Garcia showed his toughness, showed his chin, and showed how much he can take in a fight, but it's never good to ever show that. It's always better to leave it as a mystery to everybody, because if you're not getting hit, your chin is not getting weaker throughout fights and throughout the years. This is why Floyd Mayweather still has a granite chin ever since he started boxing till now. The guy just doesn't get hit. Some people want to discredit his toughness, but it doesn't even matter. Toughness is not something you want to put on display. A lot of Garcia's success came when he started to measure for everything, when he was literally posting and framing with his lead hand in order to measure the distance for his right hand or his left hook. And it worked beautifully, moving forward and backwards. With this, he was able to line up a lot of check left hooks Notably, the one in the 5th round that stunned Luke Campbell and looked like if there was like 10 to 20 seconds left of that round, Ryan Garcia probably would have a TKO in the 5th round because he pressured by measuring his way in with his lead hand, pushed back the lead hand of Luke Campbell so he wasn't able to really use it. He just had to back up to the ropes. Campbell feinted up high with his right hand and he tried to take the outside foot for a long left, but notice here, Ryan Garcia again uses his lead hand to measure as he leans away, causes Luke's punch to miss, and he greatly overextend. He punches over his knees while he's propelling his body forward. This is a very dangerous scenario right here, as he's pretty much left defenseless with no feet on the ground. It was an excellent pullback from Ryan Garcia as he counters with a big check left hook, and he just goes in for the kill. The bell rings and he just could not finish the job there, so he does it later. And there was a moment in the 6th round where Ryan Garcia actually was chasing the knockout a round after he stunned Luke Campbell. He wanted the knockout, so he started really going on a rampage, and ultimately overextending and being so aggressive, he lost his placement in the ring in pursuit of the knockout. And Luke Campbell's a veteran. He was able to block some of the punches and pivot his way around to completely reverse the positions of him and Ryan Garcia. Now, it ultimately worked out fine for Ryan Garcia. He didn't get hurt or something like that from this, but for future fights, man, there are guys out there who would absolutely take advantage of this situation. And Garcia had a really good moment in that 5th round where he took the outside foot and threw in a right straight. He hopped in behind it for a deeper step to get into a barrage of combinations here. He also has Luke Campbell close to the rope, so there's a limited amount of space for Campbell to get away from this. Comes up with the left hook, then right uppercut. He's targeting very efficiently here. Uppercut lands clean, left hook lands clean as Campbell's trying to exit his way to his left. But because of Garcia's outside foot, it forced Luke Campbell to pivot off his lead foot to swing back his right foot away. This ultimately kept him in place for the left hook. It doesn't actually change the distance, it just changes the angle, but because it's a left hook, the angle is all the same. All of it happened because Garcia took the outside foot. If he took the inside foot like he was doing in the 1st round, he possibly would have allowed Campbell to get away scot-free. And that left hook with another outside step, notice how he takes the outside step again, cutting off the footwork of Luke Campbell. He lines up his right hand and connects clean. I love that sequence right there. And then, of course, the body shot. There was a conditioning factor in this fight. That conditioning factor of the fight, Ryan Garcia kept going for the left hook over the top. He was only going to the head with the left hook. And for once in the 7th round, when he lunges forward and swings that left arm, Campbell thinks it's going to be another left hook to the head, so he guards for it. He puts up a tight guard, but he left his body exposed. This was excellent placement. Perfect targeting from Ryan Garcia. It connects right to the ribs with the first body shot, puts him down. That's some precision, man. And puts down Luke Campbell for the first time in his career. Guys like Vasily Lomachenko couldn't do it. There's many different professional boxers could not do this, but Garcia did. All credit to Ryan Garcia, man. That's the end of the breakdown. Amazing performance, amazing showcase of many different skills and attributes and just important characteristics about Ryan Garcia that is very promising moving forward into this contendership that he's in right now. Of course, the fights we all want to see with Ryan Garcia are Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, who is the champion right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, make sure to thumbs up, drop my content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.